Hi guys, how you doing? This is Damien here from Be Fit for Life, and in today's video I'm going to give you an educational talk about nutrition. Now, many people hire a coach because they're looking for guidance to what they do. They probably want a structure, they want a plan, but ultimately what they're probably looking for is accountability. A coach holds a client accountability, and generally on Mondays I will look to collect the client's body fat, review their sort of plan for the week, their training, their food diet and nutrition. And I'm going to find sort of some elements that are probably not part of the plan. Now, ultimately, this is when my 40 and 50-year-old client becomes a 5-year-old and they try to justify why they eat what they eat. Now, you're probably doing the same thing. So today's video is going to look at a lot of those different excuses, and ultimately it's going to say, ask the question, did you take ownership for yourself? Did you take responsibility for what you do? Or are you consistently living by the power of the story you tell yourself to justify the way you're going to be? And that's where we're going to look at why you eat what you eat. When people come to me and they're asking about like nutrition and they want to know, well, what do I eat? Like, when do I eat? How much do I eat? And like, how often should I exercise? Prior to all that, I think the importance, especially when you need to change your body shape, is why do you eat what you eat? I want to learn a bit more about you. So do you eat, or what you eat, is it dependent upon your mood? So do you eat when you're happy, or do you eat when you're sad? So I want to look and say, what's your response to the stresses in your life? What's your responses to in work or relationship, and what triggers you off to go eat what you eat? And when I know more about that, I want to know, is it challenges for time? Do you eat for convenience? Or do you eat in response to peer pressure from friends or family on occasions? Do you drink alcohol when you go out? What's the challenge? Is it convenience? Are you stuck for time? Because when I know more in terms of your challenges, you can look at possible solutions. But why you eat what you eat is a little bit more to do about yourself and taking ownership. But today, you have access to so much information from the likes of Facebook, from all these different self-proclaimed fitness gurus and health gurus providing information. You don't need any qualifications, you don't need any experience to post a video, just like I'm doing today via the network of social media, so you can learn. But the challenge of what you eat, like, are you going low carb, low fat? Is it high carb? Is it alternating? Is it carb cycling? All these different styles of eating patterns have been influenced by who you're reading, who do you see as a mentor, and your level of understanding is going to be influenced by your level of length of time in the industry and what you've tried in yourself. Because a lot of females are very familiar with going to weight watching clubs and slimming clubs, and the person that's going to educate them about nutrition, their qualification is, I have lost weight before. Now, it's great that you have empathy and learning from someone that's got that experience of going through the journey with you, but what worked for them doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you. So when you go and embark on a plan and you take one and you're counting points, or you're counting calories or whatever it is, understand about why you're doing it. Stop and ask the question, well, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it individualized towards me, or is it based on a system that has worked for someone? Now, yesterday or the other day, I did an article on a video on what influences your nutrition plan. We talked about religion, we talked about your age, we talked about your gender. Are they ever addressed when you go to these weight watching clubs and slimming clubs? Does your holidays influence what you eat? Do you embark on, say, well, I'm on my holidays and I can eat what I want? All depends on where you are. I'm not saying go enjoy your holidays, but in terms of when you go away, this is how you justify it to yourself and say, well, I ate that because I was on holidays. Now, again, is when we get the kids on holidays or midterm, well, I had to eat it because the kids were off, or I couldn't train during that time. Now, the problem with that is, if your kid is in, primary school, it's 3 months holidays just in the summer, not including the midterm. And every year you're going to face those challenges. So when you know you're facing those challenges, you have to look at a different solution to those. Because otherwise, it's going to be 15 years before you get over that. Because every year the kid's going to go on holidays, midterm. So you control what you eat for 4 to 5 months of the year can have a massive detriment or progress in terms of your body composition. Next thing you're going to do is, common thing from females is, I'm going back to the diet. It worked for me before. Well, if it worked for you before, I'm guessing that you kept the weight off. Oh, no? Well, then I'm saying it doesn't work. A nutrition plan that works is one that's sustainable. It's always got to be maintainable and doable. You jumping on a crash diet like 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks before kids' communion, summer holidays, school reunion is not a long-term solution. It's not sustainable. And maybe it worked before, but maybe you were 10 years older, 10 years younger, sorry, and all these different things before. Maybe, just maybe, your hormones were different. Maybe you didn't have children before that. And now you've gone back to that nutrition plan 3, 4 times later, and it's less effective, you're finding, every time. Why do you eat what you eat? Is it in response to your hormonal situation? Is it your menstrual cycle that increases your sweet cravings? Is it then every month then you're going to eat certain foods that challenge you and possibly might cause more PMS? Is it like different ones? Is your energy levels? Is it sweet cravings? You got to look at all the things of what you eat in terms of what were you lacking initially in your diet. Were you lacking sort of omega-3s? Were you lacking some fats? Were you lacking magnesium as a muscle relaxant for your body? Because then in the Challenge of Ireland, every Monday people come into me and with a different story, and these are a selection of the reasons why you eat what you eat. So again, is when we're looking at Mondays, we might have had the weather. I had to eat ice cream because it was hot. Oh, well, if you lived in Spain, does that mean you eat ice cream every day? Does your weather influence what you eat? This is how you justify, okay, I made a barbecue today because it was sunshine. That might be so bad, but again, it's an influential factor what you do. And when you go around to family and you haven't seen your mother or father in a while, and you're on a nutrition plan and you're trying to lead a new lifestyle, but when you go back to the family home, they have dinner lined out for you. Now, you don't want to be awkward, you don't want to cause a scene. I can appreciate that, but again, you fall into the standards of someone else. You might be more educated in terms of nutrition than what your parents were exposed to. So maybe you need to communicate to them beforehand and say, listen, what I want to eat is this sort of food or fresh food and some chicken, some vegetables, whatever it is, and maybe some sweet potato. So not everything what you eat will be based on your choice. Some of it might be based on your religious. You're born up in a religion, and again, that influences what you eat. Is it basically like from India? You influences by cow, beef? Is it from, is the pig? Are you Jewish? Will that influence what you eat? Is it your financial situation, your socioeconomic? But when I deal with athletes, what happens is sometimes you get a little bit of information. And a little bit of information entitles you to be dangerous enough. You know what I mean? So now I do a little bit of sport, a little bit of activity on Saturday. So now I need to be carb loading. I need to load up on my carbs. Well, a lot of people sort of originate on carb loading back prior to doing a long distance marathon, but now you're going out for like a 2-mile run, or you're doing a class, or you're playing a little bit of game or catch up with basketball. The common thing when someone starts on a new nutritional plan, because they have a bit of information now they've developed from reading articles in the media, is one of the first questions they ask me is, what about my cheat meal? Well, a cheat meal really originated from the starting of Mario Pasquale and sort of looking at a metabolic diet where people would live like a Spartan for 2 to 3 weeks that would, deplete their carbohydrate levels. When you're starting off, if your body fat's between 25 to 30%, your chance of a cheat meal should be about 5 to 6 weeks in terms of you getting a little reward. What's brought you into a gym to change your body shape is, reality is you've probably been rewarding yourself a lot. You have to give your pancreas a bit of a rest from releasing a lot of insulin in response to the sweet foods you've been eating. Your ability to get fuel into that cell is probably been seriously impeded due to your body fat levels. So what we want to do is improve fresh food. Get used to eating fresh food. Get used to living a lifestyle that can really transform your body shape. So when we get used to a cheat meal, as your body shape changes, the frequency can improve. And it really comes back to where people see their view of exercise and nutrition. Nutrition is not a reward for going, like you don't get a reward and say, I trained 4 times this week, so I'm entitled to my cake. I'm entitled to this. I'm entitled to live my lifestyle a certain way. It is if your choice, but if the reality is you're looking to change your body composition, you cannot go consistently rewarding yourself after training and then punishing yourself on Monday due to your lifestyle. That's why possibly most people need a coach. And all of these things come true. As I said, on Mondays, this is where 40 and 50-year-olds are. I've got a 5-year-old living in a 40 and 50-year-old's body. They come out with every justification of why I had to eat what I eat. They don't take ownership for themselves. So if you truly want to change your body shape, it starts with taking 100% responsibility. And if I'm really being seriously blunt with you, it's an element of GTFU. Grow that up. That's really what needs to happen. You need to stop being a 5-year-old and you need to take ownership for what you eat to truly change your body shape. It's not until you take ownership yourself of why you eat what you eat do you move on to what do I eat, when do I eat, how much do I eat, and the importance of exercise. But to prevent yourself from going down this sort of path for a long period of time, grow up, stop being a 5-year-old, take ownership, and question yourself, why do you eat what you eat? This is Damien here at Be Fit for Life, thanking you for your time.